Coming up on Messenger, we begin with some exciting updates from the Manitoba-Saskatchewan Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Next, we head into Creation Corner with Clecia Felician, where kids can learn something amazing about God's creatures. After that, Pastor Edwin Martin will share more valuable insights in his Pathfinder segment. Finally, we'll hear Sinikka's beautiful story of faith, nature, and resilience from her childhood in rural Finland. Stay tuned. Welcome to Messenger. I'm your host, Adriana, and today we're focusing on a beautiful promise found in Jeremiah 33, verses 7 and 8. God says, "I will bring Judah and Israel back from captivity and will rebuild them as they were before. I will cleanse them from all the sin they have committed against me." This is a powerful reminder of God's mercy and ability to restore us no matter where we are in life. We'll explore how restoration can impact our daily lives and how we can trust in God's plan. If you'd like to help us continue sharing messages of hope, consider becoming an agent of hope. You can support this ministry through prayer or by donating. You can donate by Interac e-transfer to Agents of Hope at hopetv.ca or by phone at 1-855-4HOPE-TV. If you prefer, you can send a check payable to Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada at the following address: Hope Channel Canada at 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H 1H8. Thank you for helping us spread God's message of love and hope. Next up, we have some important updates from the Manitoba-Saskatchewan Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. In September 2024, Stephanie Yamniuk led an End It Now initiative at West Park Seventh-day Adventist Church. End It Now is a global movement where Adventists take a stand against abuse, especially towards women and girls. Stephanie's presentation brought a powerful message of hope and action to individuals living in Winnipeg. The West Park Seventh-day Adventist Church went beyond just raising awareness. They supported a local women's shelter in Winnipeg. The church organized a walk for End It Now and collected dozens of pajamas to donate to the shelter. Their message was clear: we stand with you and we support you. Stephanie didn't stop there. On September 11th, she spoke at the annual general meeting for the Manitoba Association of Women's Shelters. Her presentation focused on practical ways organizations can help women, children, and families dealing with family violence. She also shared ADRA's work in this field. During the AGM, Stephanie provided valuable insights on how employers can identify signs of family violence. She explained how they can offer support to their staff. Her presentation connected her with key figures, including the Director for Women and Gender Equity, Manitoba. Stephanie is also working on a new project. It focuses on providing psychosocial support in schools. The goal is to train church members to become psychological first aid responders. This training is crucial for helping students and families in need. Thank you to Stephanie Yamniuk and the Manitoba-Saskatchewan Conference for their dedication to this important cause. Your work in Winnipeg is making a real difference, showing that we can all take steps to end abuse and support those in need.
Hey there, kids. Welcome to today's Creation Corner. I'm Clecia, and today we're going to talk about one of the coolest animals ever, the chinstrap penguin. And guess what? We're also going to learn about something super important that penguins are really good at: resting. Penguins are amazing, especially chinstrap penguins. They live in the cold, cold Antarctic. Their parents have a big job too, raising baby penguins. And it's not easy. Imagine having to swim 75 miles in freezing water every single day just to catch enough fish for your kids. Sounds tiring, right? So imagine you're just like swimming and you're so tired, and penguins have to stay awake to protect their babies from predators. They're working day and night. So how do they get their rest? Well, here's a penguin secret. They take little micro naps. Little naps that only last a few seconds. Can you imagine? It's like a little, and then they're up again. But wait, guess what? Penguins aren't the only ones who need sleep. You need sleep too, just like little naps. Not just little naps like penguins, but good sleep every night. If you're 6 to 12 years old, you need between 9 to 12 hours of sleep at night. And if you're a teen, you need 8 to 10 hours. Let's talk about why sleep is so important for you. So, join me for activity time. Let's pretend we're penguins. But instead of taking little micro naps, we're gonna stretch and yawn. Okay, I'll give you a second. Everyone stand up and reach for the sky. Stretch your arms out and let out your biggest penguin yawn. Now, let's think about it. When you don't get enough sleep, it's like your brain gets so tired and you can't think clearly. It's harder to learn and you might even feel cranky or sad. But when you sleep, your brain and body get stronger. Just like penguins who need energy to swim, you need your energy to do your best in school, play, and grow. Fun fact. Did you know chinstrap penguins need to swim 120 kilometers a day to catch food? That's like swimming for hours. God knew how important rest was for us. In the Bible, Psalms 127 verse 2 says, "It is in vain for you to rise up early and sit up late, for so he giveth his beloved sleep." God wants us to rest well because he loves us. When we take time to rest, we feel better and stronger. Just like the chinstrap penguins need shelter to protect themselves from the cold and danger, God is our shelter. He's like our cozy blanket, keeping us safe when we're tired or scared. So let's play a quick game. It's called Penguin Nap Time. I count to 3, and when I say sleep, everyone close your eyes and pretend to nap for 3 seconds. But when I say wake up, you've got to jump up and waddle like a penguin. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, sleep. 1, 2, 3. Wake up. You got it. You're doing great. All right. Now you're feeling refreshed. Aren't we? Remember, you ever have trouble sleeping, you can ask God for help. Set a bedtime, stick to it, and trust that God can give you the rest that you need. Let's pray. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for creating penguins to show us how important it is to rest. Please be with all the little kids and please help them be able to get all the rest that they need. Amen. Thanks for hanging out with me today, friends. Remember to rest well and trust in God to give you the energy you need, just like he does for the amazing chinstrap penguins. Thank you, Temi Barak, for providing us with this information. If you want to learn more, you can check out the September issue of the Adventist Messenger magazine. See you next time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Campbell Daly from Agents of Hope, and I hope that you're doing well. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for taking your time to watch the Messenger program with Adriana Joy Lewis. Your financial support would be greatly appreciated, and any amount makes a huge difference in impacting Canadians. Please visit agentsofhope.ca so that you can donate online via debit, credit, Google Pay, or Apple Pay. If you prefer to donate offline, you can e-transfer us at agentsofhope@hopetv.ca. or mail a check to Hope Channel Canada at the following address: Hope Channel Canada, 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H1H8. Thank you once again for joining us on this journey, this exciting journey.
Now, Pathfinders, get ready. We're heading into an exciting adventure with Pastor Martin, the Pathfinder Director at the Ontario Adventist Conference. Today, he's going to share some cool tips about wilderness survival and how it connects to our spiritual lives. Over to you, Pastor Martin.
Hey Pathfinders, it's Pastor Martin. Today we're going to have some fun learning about knot tying. Did you know that knots can be really useful in all kinds of situations, like when you're camping or even just tying your shoelaces? Imagine you're out in the wilderness and you need to set up a tent. If your knots aren't strong enough, your tent could fall apart. In the same way, our faith is like a knot. It has to be strong and secure. Just like tying a knot keeps things in place, staying connected to God helps us stay grounded and safe. Let's try tying a bowline knot together. Grab a piece of rope if you have one and follow along. This knot is great for making a loop that won't slip no matter how much weight you put on it. Just like this knot holds firm, God holds us steady when life gets tough. You can practice tying this knot over and over to make sure it's nice and secure. Tying ourselves to God makes us strong, just like this knot. We can do this by praying, reading the Bible, and spending time with Him. Sometimes life can feel like it's pulling us in different directions: school, friends, or worries. But just like a knot holds things together, staying close to God keeps us steady. Here's a fun challenge. Get a few friends or family members and see who can tie the fastest, most secure knot. If you can try the square knot or a clove hitch, both are super useful. The faster and tighter your knots, the more prepared you'll be for outdoor adventures. It's like building up your faith. The more time you spend with God, the stronger your relationship becomes. Knots can also remind us of the friendships we have when we tie knots. We're connecting two pieces of rope together. In the same way, God connects us with other people to support and encourage us. Think about how your friends, family, or church community help you stay strong when things are tough. God gave us these relationships to hold us together, just like knots. So, Pathfinders, remember that knots aren't just useful for camping. They can also remind us to stay connected to God and each other. Whether it's a bowline or a square knot, practice tying strong knots this week. Think about how staying tied to God will keep you strong through any challenge.
Hello everyone, my name is Ivaldo Vicente and I'm the editor of the Messenger magazine. I trust you've been enjoying the programming on Hope Channel Canada so far and have been inspired to bring hope to your community as well. I do want to take a moment to remind you of all the ways that you can watch The Messenger. You can visit hopetv.ca or on our YouTube channel at Hope Channel Canada. You can also view it on the free Hope Channel app, which can be downloaded onto your phone or tablet via the App Store or Google Play Store. You can also download the app on your smart TV via Roku or the Amazon App Store. And make sure to select Hope Channel Canada. Finally, we're also on cable TV under channel 893 on Eastlink, Delta and Coastal, and also channel 94 on City West. Now, lastly, I do want to share that as you are watching these programs, you may be wondering how you can get to know more about Jesus and how he can bring more to your life. As Hope Channel Canada, we always say there is more to life. And so if you want to find about that more, we have a Bible study platform called Hope Study that can help you do just that. Please visit hopestudy.ca to learn more and register yourself. Thank you again for watching and joining us in this movement of letting Canadians know that with Jesus, there is more to life.
We have something special for you. Today, we're going to hear an inspiring story of faith, resilience, and a deep connection to nature. Our guest, Sinikka Dixon, has a powerful testimony that reflects the beautiful integration of faith and nature. This journey began in her early childhood in Finland. From seeing the glory of God in the Northern Lights to experiencing miraculous healing after a life-changing accident, Sinikka's journey is filled with moments of wonder and grace. Let's dive into her story. Hear how her experiences growing up in the countryside shaped her relationship with God and his creation. Thank you for joining us, Sinikka. Let's start by talking about your childhood in rural Finland. Can you share some memories of growing up in the countryside, particularly about your experiences with your family and your connection to nature?
To me, the relationship between faith and nature is an integrated whole. My first home was in the rocky, wooded hillside growing lupins in the summer. My parents were facilitators rather than authoritarians. Speaking to a toddler, "You can climb this rock. I will hold your hand." Under their watchful eyes, I was ready to explore the nature around me. Later, when we moved to a market garden, I was Daddy's shadow, a little helper, learning how to pull out not the plants but the weeds, and learning about the dependence on sunshine and rain. When about 6, Daddy woke me up in the middle of the night, wrapped me in a blanket, and carried me outside to see the meteoric rain. It was absolutely fantastic. Stars falling all over the sky. I thought that it was probably like the one of those signs of the end or something, but it was fabulous. Another night, Daddy took me out again, and this time to see the aurora borealis. And I've never seen it since. It was so beautiful. It was like grandmother's blankets being shaken all over the sky, and in the middle there was like a crown that radiated in and out. And so I knew for sure that I had seen the glory of God. He lived and he watched over us.
You mentioned that your grandmother had a significant influence on you, especially when it came to your love for nature. Can you tell us more about the lessons you learned from her and how they shaped your connection to both nature and faith?
During the war, Grandma and Grandpa were evacuated from the war zone and came to live with us. And Grandma was a forager, She had had 7 children, and she had to supplement the family's income with whatever she could find in the woods. She took me into the woods and taught me everything she knew. Found out how to find edible plants, anything of mushrooms and berries, and even how to make brooms out of little plants in the woods. And he also taught me not to fall into quicksands, and so that you'd step into the grass looked like real, but if you step into it, you go into quicksands. But you had to only step in somewhere where there's a bush growing in the middle of it.
Wonderful. I understand you started school early, but faced a dilemma with Sabbath observance. How did that challenge shape your understanding of faith and decision-making at such a young age?
To a 6-year-old, it was not even a dilemma. It was so simple. I had experienced God's presence in nature. He had created us and rested from his creative work on the 7th day, on the Sabbath. So should we. All I had to do was to make up for some schoolwork on Sunday, and my wonderful dad, he was an elder in the church, he left the decision to me. He gave me the same Bible text at my baptism that his father had given him when he was baptized at the age of 10 years of old. His family had first read the Bible through, the whole family, and just to make sure that the Seventh-day Adventist message was biblical. The message was 2 Timothy 3:14. But as for you, continue in what you have learned and have become convinced of, because you know those from whom you have learned it, and how from infancy you have known the Holy Scriptures.
Thank you for sharing. One of the most impactful moments in your story is the accident you suffered when you were 9 years old. Could you share what happened that night and how your recovery strengthened your faith in God?
I could see that I had been really a silly tomboy, jumping out of a still moving bus after these teenagers. That God answered my parents' faith of prayer and trust in God, and the pastor's intercessory prayer at the meeting, that was a miracle. And ever since then, I have really considered the fact that life is a gift. I had to learn how to walk again, just like a baby, learn to sit, stand, and let go of the dresser, and then take a few steps. And I have come to the realization that the only reason why we live here on earth is really to love God with all our heart and our neighbors ourselves. Lord, make me a blessing to somebody today.
Thank you. During your recovery, your family's faith and the support from the community played a big role. What was it like to experience such support, and how did it affect your personal relationship with God?
The bully from the school, who had really pestered me and called me names, he came to my bedside at home where I was recuperating, and some of the other school friends as well, and they brought flowers. He said that he had been scared that I would die. He never bullied me again, and I have forgiven him for what he had done before. And of course, our pastor was always a good friend, but he was more than that. He was a second father to me. His daughter was my best friend, and we were baptized at 12 years old, the two of us, and we walked into the lake just as like Jesus was baptized in real nature.
Thank you for sharing. You've mentioned that our time on earth is a gift from God. What advice would you give to people today who may be struggling to see that in their own lives?
I would like to borrow something I learned from my younger sister. She was 12 years younger than I was. And she had a playhouse with dolls and plastic furniture. And suddenly, one of the legs of the plastic table broke. And so there are 3 legs left. And she said, "Oh, that doesn't matter. It still stands and we can still use it." And then another leg broke. And she says, "Oh, that's good. It broke at the same end as the other one. So now I can prop it up with something underneath and I can still have a table." Then the last leg broke. And she said, "Wow, I was watching this happening." Snapped off the last leg and put the plastic table on the floor. And she said, "Now we can all sit around the table cross-legged, just like some people do." And my advice or suggestion would be, try to smile even if you don't feel like doing it. Smile at somebody and they respond. Find somebody, even if it's a grocery clerk or anybody, make them happy for what they are doing for you. And I have learned personally also that a lot of people are really kind and good and they just need a leg up. They need something to be happy about. And now that I walk around with a walker and 2 stapled hips, I have found out the world is full of wonderful people and they need to be recognized. Just let's do it.
Thank you so much, Sinikka, for sharing your incredible journey with us today. Your story reminds us all of God's presence in nature and his power to heal and restore. We hope that you, our viewers, have been blessed by this message of faith and resilience. Before we go, we'd like to remind you that if this episode has touched your heart, you can support this ministry by becoming an agent of hope. You can donate by Interac e-transfer to Agents of Hope at hopetv.ca or by phone at 1-855-4HOPE-TV. If you prefer, you can send a check payable to Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada at the following address: Hope Channel Canada at 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H 1H8. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to the Canadian Adventist Messenger magazine to read more inspiring stories like Sinikka's. You can sign up through your local Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada or subscribe online for a yearly subscription. Thank you for being with us today. Until next time, continue to trust in God's plan, find peace in his creation, and keep being a messenger of hope in your community.